Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, so we're actually here. Oh, I put manana on the board. I made this board yesterday at the end of the day, probably around 11 p.m. or so. I know you guys are wanting updates and so forth, but by the time I'm done at the end of the day, I don't have a voice. And I apologize for my voice, but right now I have a cough drop just to make sure I can keep speaking. So Thanksgiving Day, we went around, made the rounds, paid up on rooms. We took some donations that were still accumulating over to a storage unit. We went by Kmart, where the Sanchez Ranch Meat Company was giving out thousands of Thanksgiving meals. They actually were not only serving the survivors and whoever came up for a meal at Kmart, but they were loading meals into their vehicles and dispersing them all over Chico to first responders, to Red Cross, to shelters, to parking lots. They were even dispersing them to hotels and motels, their Thanksgiving meals. Okay, I'm gonna stop and wait a second because I have give people a minute to start watching. I know they're just coming on here, but these are, again, at the end of the day, I try to get my brain down as best I can, whether it's on paper or whiteboard. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep going now. Again, so we paid up on rooms, put some donations we had in storage, went to Kmart where they were dispersing meals, not only in the Kmart parking lot, but all over Chico, hotels, motels. Red Cross was coming in asking for meals for their people. It was pretty awesome. It was amazing. I met some of my families there, survivor families there as well. They were able to get some Thanksgiving meals up to families that they know are still up in the burned area who didn't leave their homes. Sanchez Ranch Meat Company also gave them some water to take up there. Then we went to Walmart and we broke down a lot of the tents that were empty and so forth, just to make it look, a little better, a little nicer, as a thanks to Walmart, for allowing these people to have that place to go when they were in dire emergency and had nothing but the clothes on their backs. I had some gentlemen from the Bay. If you guys saw the older videos that I did before, there was two gentlemen, Matt and Austin, that came in a white van from the San Francisco Bay Area. One of them was able to come back with his 16-year-old son. So we were able to go to Walmart and break down some tents. And the people that were still staying there, whether they were transients or what have you, were very nice and polite with us. They let us know which tents were empty and so forth. And after we broke them down, and if they wanted them, we let them have them. If not, if they were pretty thrashed because of the water and the mud, we just went ahead and threw them in the dumpster. And then we had to go move Montana and Nancy to America's Best Value Inn. We got them a room there. And then we went by, again, I apologize for my voice. It's just, okay. And then we went by Azad's Martial Arts and checked on the families there because it was Thanksgiving. Stopped by to see everybody because we were actually on our way to Gridley to move the trailers to the land. We got both the trailers that we have on hand onto the land, safe and sound, locked up. Again, that was due to the gentleman that came in, Matt, with the white van. He came up in his truck. So we were able to get that done, and his 16-year-old son, Joey. And then we stopped while we were there in Gridley and checked on Pacific Motel, where I'll explain a little more what's happening with Pacific Motel in a little bit. Double check and make sure everybody's rooms and paid up for. The two gentlemen that we have, where one is in a wheelchair, we got into Courtyard. And it's really tricky. If you guys know anyone who's in this situation, who is here, who's trying to get a room, you just got to keep calling. Penny called Courtyard. They had no available rooms. I called less than an hour later. All of a sudden, they had a room. all the hotel and motels availability and occupancy changes literally by the minute. When I was at Courtyard getting them checked in, I got a text message from Christy, who happened to be at Residence Inn that was right next door to it. She was having problems getting into her FEMA. So we shot over there and got her checked in online to have her online account set up with passwords and everything. A lot of what I'll be doing today, it's impossible for me to go live all day, every day. Going live really kills my battery fast. Yesterday, the first text came in at 3:48 a.m. and I, didn't respond probably till about an hour later, and then got up and going, and I got home back to here at about 9 p.m. That was on Thanksgiving, actually. So let's move to Friday, which was yesterday. I still had the help of Matt and Joey. We went around, we paid up on the rooms, we went to Walmart, checked in with Brosnan Security that they have there at Walmart, who has been absolutely fantastic in helping. They direct me to anyone that they feel, is willing to accept me helping them. I always like to check in with them and let them know, I'm still here, I'm still around. If there's any families, survivor families that need the help, I'm here. While we were doing that, Penny was able to get the gentleman in the wheelchair that we put in Courtyard on Thanksgiving over to Pacific Motel. Again, you're going to see Pacific Motel coming up a lot, and I'm going to explain to you in a little bit about what's going on with that. At that point, I had to stop and eat. We went to Panera, and Matt and Joey bought me lunch. I was on the phone a lot while we were sitting there just trying to get stuff done, but it was a meal well needed because I got to keep going. And then one of the issues that I was dealing with on the phone was a woman that had open heart surgery. She's at the Gridley Fairgrounds, I believe. And we're trying to work with Sanchez Ranch Meat Market and getting her a room for long term through the first of the year. But the issue is hotels and motels don't want people staying there past 28 days or 30 days, because then they can claim residency. But some hotels and motels, said, we'll speak to my GM and see what they can do. So that is part of our next step. Liz, and then we had to take Liz and Barack from Azad Martial Arts, who again was absolutely just amazing in closing down his business and putting beds in for the survivors to live in for over 2 weeks, I believe. We moved them also to, where did we move them? America's Best Value. When we walked in there, she started crying because she'd never been in a hotel. She'd never been to the mall. She'd never been to like a beauty salon. So Penny and her daughters are going to take her to the mall one day, and we took her food. You'll see later last night, we took them some food. She was just amazed. I mean, these people lived, I believe, in northern Magalia. They haven't even come close to assessing their area yet. That's how far out they lived. And then I had to go to the bank, I had to go to the storage and get some blankets, because when we were at America's Best Value Inn, there was some people who had asked if I had any blankets, and I did have blankets in the storage, so I took them some blankets. Sorry, you guys, I have text messages popping down my screen every few minutes, so I have to read them to make sure it's not something important. Then we went to the Pacific Motel. We checked on everyone. So at that point, I have 3 families there now. I'm trying to get the other 3 there. So I guess now would be a good time to talk about Pacific Motel. Pacific Motel is actually working with me on a level that I can't even begin to explain. The gratitude. The people of that community in Gridley have a list, and each night a different family cooks food for the survivor families staying at Pacific Motel. They're doing free laundry. They get free food. FEMA's right around the corner at the fairgrounds. It's a little horseshoe of a motel, but it's a community, and they're all survivors. And I don't even know where to begin to speak about the level of just amazingness that is going on there between Gridley Pacific Motel, the adoptive family website, and a woman that I'm in contact with, Nikki. We are getting all of their rooms paid for through everybody's different donations. I checked on everyone. Um, let's see, room. While I was there, actually, I was sent a message via YouTube. One of our YouTube watchers, Tiffany, asking how she can pay, and I told her I'm here right now. Call the front desk. All you have to do is call Pacific Motel in Gridley. Tell them you want to pay for a night for one of Mel's survivor families. And what the manager does is she does buy 6 nights, you get the 7th free. So she'll accumulate 6 nights worth of payment, and then the family gets a 7th night free. And she just keeps adding them up and keeping track of that. So your card may not be charged tonight. It may be charged tomorrow night or the next night or so forth, because that's what she's doing. She's waiting until she has 6 families to pay, and she adds them all together, and then the survivor families get that 7th night free. We did some networking on the trailers in the mobile home on getting the word out via social media that we need not registers, what's it called, generators, and H2O and septic hooked up for this trailers. And then we came back to Chico, delivered the food to Liz and Barack that we put in America's Best Value Inn, and the blankets to the people who asked for them. That was a 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. day. I think I woke up probably about 5 a.m. Out the door somewhere between 7 and 8. I don't remember exactly. But we got back around 10 p.m. I was going to pay a couple nights at Mel's. I gave her the number. Oh, I just got a text message. I don't know if these people, some people want to do it anonymous. Some people don't care, but I just got a text message that someone's going to pay for a couple of nights at Pacific Motel. So it's just so amazing. I'm just here. I just connect the dots, putting the people who want to help in connection with the people who need the help. We thought our day was going to be over at 4 p.m. until we got a call that we had to go to Gridley. Let's see. So I made this yesterday. Sorry, mañana means tomorrow in Spanish. So this is about today. Today, Penny has to run over to the storage and get some diapers. People are giving us diapers because they know that we're in touch with families. And we have, so there's diapers there that we need to get to survivors. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm so tired. I'm trying to keep this all as straight as I can. I want to go check on the second piece of land again and talk to them, because one of the survivor families that I have at Pacific Motel, they have a 35-foot motorhome. It's going to cost about $100 in gas to drive from where it is to the land in Orville. So I want to check on the hookups that this other piece of land has for it. I asked them if they could get in touch with the gas stations in Magalia to make sure that they have gas. If not, I'm going to have to get $100 worth of gas up there so they can fill up this motorhome and bring it here, and then they could live in it. They're actually a family of like 8, but they're dispersed all over. I have 3 of them at Pacific Motel. The dad, the mom, and her son's coming today. But, they just want to get together. I have a couple, one of the 6 families has to stay in Chico. I'm trying to get all 6 of mine at Pacific Motel, so it's super easy. One of them can't because he has Crohn's disease. And he goes to Butte College, and for his medical is right here. So I'm trying to find a hotel who's going to let them stay more than 2 or 3 or 4 nights in a row so they don't have to keep bumping hotel rooms every night. Check everyone's FEMA. Hopefully I'll have more time today to take a laptop with me and show everybody and get them all registered with online accounts so they can just log in from their phone, and it's super easy to check on. We also need to get the gentleman in the wheelchair and his caretaker registered online so he doesn't have to do like the time cards on hand and mailing them in anymore. It'll be so much easier just to send it all in online for him. And we need to secure a truck for Sunday. We need a truck Sunday because, why do I need a truck Sunday? Oh my goodness. Oh, because Sunday I need to move 2 families to Pacific Motel. So if anyone knows anyone local that has a truck for Sunday, we may have one. I'll have to double check, but so there's that. That's today. That's just what I have that I know we have to do, not including everything that just kind of pops up throughout the day. Here we have the families. I have 3 of them at Pacific. 2 of them are moving to Pacific on Sunday. The last one has to stay local in Chico. And then on this board, I have, let me see. That's not going to work. Let me try this. Sorry, bear with me, you guys. Okay, I think that works. So, again, if you know anyone involved in this situation that's going through this, they need to be careful. If they want to pay for a hotel room for someone, make sure that they're actually giving their credit card number directly to the hotel. And people don't need their room numbers, they don't need their registration numbers, and they don't need their full names. I had someone offer to pay for 5 nights, and I passed on it because he wanted the people's first and last names. He wanted their room numbers. I'm not going to do that. That's, nobody else needed that or wanted that or cared for that. It's not necessary. I'm not going to go down that route. Trailer parking, we have the 2 pieces of land for trailers. One from Jen, one from a guy named Mike, both in Orville. Sanchez Ranch Meat Market ended up giving over 2,100 meals. It's supposed to say meals. And she's going to give me a list, hopefully, of all the different places that they actually delivered meals to as well. So we actually have 4 trailers right now. The 2 that I already have, one coming from Lodi and one coming from Tahoe. 1 mobile home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath from Montague. We need to figure out how to get it here and where we can park it. It's all about networking and just telling people and constantly getting that word out. Hopefully a company will donate a truck to get that mobile home here. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for a family to live in is huge. We got to figure out a way to get it here. The 700 free-range grass-fed beef patties were delivered to Tackle Box, who in Chico is notorious for feeding first responders, not just in emergency situations, but all year round. We're networking on getting generators, water, septic, living essentials, all ready for the trailers, hooked up, livable, before I put families in them. Okay, so Pacific Hotel, how they have free food all day because local families take turns cooking for them. They offer free laundry service. FEMA's right around the corner. And when we get 6 nights paid for, the 7th night is free. I have a gentleman at Walmart parking lot in a Dodge who's having some issues with FEMA I need to keep checking on. I'm going to check on Christy and her husband at Residence Inn. Even though her job and her company's helping her, you know, I still follow through with her. She's the one that called me or texted me when I was over at Courtyard, and I went over, you know, we went over and helped her, got her all set up online. FEMA checks can be sent to the hotels if they put the name of the hotel, care of, and then the room number, and then the address. And people, I can't emphasize enough, follow through with FEMA. Don't wait for FEMA to call you. Set up an online account. That is the best way to continuously check on your status. Just some informative stuff. Comcast has waived all service and box fees. You just got to call them. Banks, landline, and cell phones and insurance, you have to call them, but they are working with people. And then I know there's a lot of talk, I guess, going on about the security at Walmart. You know, they're there for people's safety, and the survivors take on it. The families that I've dealt with have said they were glad they were there. It made them feel safe to be there, and that their personal take on it, and kind of my personal take on it too, is that if you're upset that there's security there, then you got to wonder why. If they intimidate you, okay, good, you know, maybe that's what they needed, because there were people there with families, children, and I'd rather people be intimidated by security who's keeping them safe than people who are there for the wrong reasons. Let's see, again, adopt a family, or you can get a hold of us directly. There's our GoFundMe. The masks, the 480 masks that my son brought up, they went. I mean, there was really no way for me to even log into the live and get it set up before the masks were even gone, because it was right in the midst of things and they were so needed. I have receipts for all the stuff we've been purchasing, business cards of all the companies that have donated services. You know, that kind of video will come later. We're still in the thick of this, and I think that's what people aren't realizing. I don't know what the news is showing or anything. I don't have time for that. If there's something that I feel is important that I hear, I'll address it. But something that is very much so happening, we all without places to live, and if they don't have a cell phone, or if they don't know, you know, the issue is there's no one central hub for people to get all the information that I'm able to get access of and about people in shelters around watching TV out there busting but trying to survive day to day. I'm not sick. I've just lost my voice. I do take preventative medicines. I'm eating spicy foods, keeping myself healthy. Sorry, hold on one sec. I'm getting text messages coming. Okay, I'm to go because I'm getting messages from two of the now. Oh goodness, and of peanut butter stuffed toast. Wow. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to a room for a night or whatever, or if there's any missing that you guys want to know about and inquire on, ask in the comment section below. I do on all the videos at hashtag campfire live update. I do one time try to go through and address comments. Hopefully, you know, there's a couple of them that I found full information on. Anything I'm missing that you guys are wondering about, you know, feel free to move forward on my own with that. Well, yeah, I have to have a family trying to get a hold of me. I will please check in either later or